Hello everybody, this is GameMaster127 and welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. In today's video, we're going to be doing a deck profile on my favorite deck in the world to duel with, and that's Noble Knights. Last deck profile I did was back in April of 2018, and I think it's really about time, now that all the support has come out, that I should make a new deck profile. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with the main deck. Not really much else has changed if you saw the last one. It's just more or less new support. I did take some stuff out, put some stuff in, because I had to make it work. So, had to make some sacrifices, but for the most part, the deck has pretty much predominantly stayed the same. So, let's just get started with the monsters. One Meddrot, I imagine you guys all know what all the effects do. Meddrot, and guys, in case you guys really have not watched my previous ones, is I've kept the pretty much the same knights that came from the box set. So since the box set only came with one Meddrot, that's one Meddrot. Two Boars, again, that's what it came with. One Vanilla Artorigus, one Gawain, one Dristan. Dristan's Gwalchavad helps me get other knights back. I have two brothers. Two brothers, especially now with how many arms, how many knights I have to have, having two brothers is pretty much kind of needed now at this point. You can use it to special summon off the Isolde, recycle all the arms back that she put in the grave, and then summon out brothers, and then, add, like, BLS to your hand. So, he does pretty good. He balances it out. One Bedivere, to kind of help with the arm switches. One Purter, because he's the 19 attack. There's not a lot of 19 attacks, even, but after these next couple cards. It's just, besides Gawain, like, Purter's the only one else that has a high enough attack within the Knights. Going into the new support now is one Noble Knight, Custennin. Custennin, he's pretty good. It helps me get another normal summon, which is pretty good. I then have Pelennor, which he is kind of like a version of the Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorigus. He's just like a much smaller version. He just can't attack, which is fine, because you would just link out anyway, and then just use the same effect anyway, so that's alright. One Noble Knight, Ivani. Ivani. Ivani is definitely kind of a really interesting one, because it has token aspects into it, and that's kind of a new thing for Noble Knights, is to have tokens. But I do love the artwork for Ivani. It's wonderful, the lion and everything like that. I will eventually be doing my Tales from the Noble Knights with the updated cards here pretty soon. Not sure when that will coming out, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good card. I think it's probably one of like the best. Pelennor was alright, Custennin was okay. Ivani is just, it's a pretty good card overall. Then now going on to the kind of the bigger knights. And that's, of course, Black Lancelin and Ektar. Ektar I really don't go into that often. Those are the knights. The rest of the, these are kind of just like the spellcaster editions, really. Is one Merlin, one Lady of the Lake, and one Gwen. Again, kind of like just the standard for it. Lady of the Lake helps get out the only synchro monster here. Merlin helps just get me a new knight, and also helps with being able to synchro Xyz on my opponent's turn. Gwen is Gwen, the 300, so not really much else for her. The new support, though, I really like this, is Morgan. Morgan is a wonderful card that got added into the Noble Knights. Is pretty much, as long as I control a Noble Knight with an arms, I believe. Yeah, a Noble Knight and an arms. Is I can pretty much negate anything. I just have to send her. It's probably one of the best like hand traps for knights. And it's and then if I had to normally a 3 dark, 13, 16. So if I needed her to wall, she can. And then of course effect Valor, just in case if I don't have access to Lady of the Lake. And then kind of just wrapping up the kind of miscellaneous category. There we go. Is a BLS, because lots of lights, lots of dark in here, so BLS. Wonderful card to have. Definitely at one, because if I, because now he's unlimited and stuff like that. One's good. I probably wouldn't do more than just that, so just one's fine. Jirago just helps if I need to give monsters a boost of attack, or if I need to get the life points, or if I just need another special summon because he is a 4 to go into NXC. So, 2 of the Ghost cards, and that's Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and then Ghost Ogre and Winter Cherries. Originally, what these 2 were for the Synchros. Well, I took out the Synchros, so now they're now exclusively now for the hand traps. Now I can actually use Winter Cherries to banish their copies of Sold and stuff like that. So that's, again, why they're here. And then rounding up the monsters is DD Crow. Once again, it's a dark, hand trap, and if I need to get something out of their graveyard, I can. Going on to spells. Spells have predominantly, for the arms, have not changed really at all. 2 Excalibur. Really, it's just in case if I lose one, I need to have another one. 2 Destiny, 2 Caliburn, 1 Gallatin, and 1 Arfuted Tour. That's just kind of how I've always run it. That's how it came in the box set. So I added another Excalibur just in case if I needed it to for the banish effect. Rounding out the last of the arms is, of course, Noble Arms Clarent, the newest one. More or less, it just allows me to attack directly with it. So if I can swing for it, I can swing. Kind of the rest of the Noble Knight stuff is last chapter, the Field Spell, which I'll admit is not really that much greater. Having Ivani helps raise Noble Knight attack points, which is nice. That's something I kind of wish the Field Spell already did. Most other Field Spells do by like 500, just something. It could be nice if it was like, boost all Noble Knights by 100 for every Noble Knight with a different name is in it. Then, of course, going on to the new support, 1 Glory of the Noble Knights. It just helps me search out my spells, my arms, so I can equip them to my knights. This one, it's I like it, and it's probably like one of the best ones that have come out for the support. Is Heritage of the Chalice. Now, if you don't know what Heritage of the Chalice does, it's I can add 1 Noble Knight monster or 1 Noble Arms card from my deck or graveyard to my hand. If the monster equipped with it is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave while this card is in it, I can add it back. So, more or less, it's I can keep adding knights or arms, and this card just has to be in my graveyard. So, unless it somehow gets banished or something like that, I can keep recycling this. So, it's very good. I probably would add more of this over, say, Glory, because I have to have a knight on the field, per se, and this one has to have both. But they kind of work really good, kind of on their own. It just really depends on how you want to look at it, and it doesn't matter. This is a very casual build, so keep that in mind. There's not really, a lot of competitiveness in this, so just keep that in mind. The rest of the spells are just kind of now it's just the one-off now. But it's the rest of the equips is just Mage Power and White Veil. I like White Veil because if I did have a big enough monster with, say Mage Power or White Veil or something like that, and if I just continually wanted to just keep, attacking or whatever like that, White Veil is definitely worth the drawback. Because the only drawback I have of this is if White Veil ever gets sent to my graveyard, I take 3,000 damage. Okay, couldn't remember if it was 3 or 5. I take 3,000 damage, which it wouldn't be the best thing to play if I was going into time or something like that. But with White Veil, it's as long as I can just keep, swinging. They really don't have anything to get rid of my back row. These two would just really help with, one helping to make sure I get over everything, and one helping to make sure I need to get over a monster. So that's kind of why I like having these two. Of course, now we're going back into this, just generic, one-ofs. I have to adjust here. Is Raigeki, Dark Hole, Gold Sarcophagus. I like having the Gold Sarcophagus, Raigeki and Dark Hole, that's just, it's a given. Gold Sarcophagus helps me, again, to, look for more knights. So would, Reinforcement of the Army, or if I needed to find arms, too. That works as well. Foolish Burial, if I wanted to put Lady of the Lake or Black Wandstone in the grave, that's really what it's mainly used for. Or if I need it for, to set up for BLS if I need to send a light or dark, which I don't see how that wouldn't happen. Cosmic Cyclone, again, I can if I really need to have something banished or something like that, Cosmic Cyclone. If I need to get rid of more, Twin Twister. Just back row stuff. Soul Charge to get more of my monsters out. If Soul Charge ever does end up getting banned, I will probably just put Soul Charge, or in place of Soul Charge, probably another Heritage or another Glory or something like that. So that's kind of what I have planned in case of Soul Charge, because a lot of people really don't like Soul Charge, which rightfully so, I imagine. Monster Reborn, because it's Monster Reborn. You gotta play Monster Reborn because it's Monster Reborn. It works so well in this deck. I love having Monster Reborn. It's so great to have it back. Mind Control. I have Mind Control to help set up for links, or mainly to set up for links. Or if they have some 4s, then I can use it to Xyz over them. The other thing is, with Mind Control, is the kind of the other backup card. It's not really in my side deck. It's just if I'm going to play it. If I don't want to play that, I have Burial from a Different Dimension. I do end up banishing quite a few cards, so having Burial kind of is like, it's just like a backup card in case of Mind Control. That's kind of what it's been. Again, I can maybe do the same thing for Soul Charge, but I would really want to add probably another Heritage or something. But that's kind of in my side, but not my side deck. So, and that's Mind Control. Mass Change and Instant Fusion. The only part of the fusion that is still within the deck. That's for going to Dark Lion Koga. That's just so I can get out, I'm trying to get him, is Carbonolo Warrior, because he's a 4-starred warrior. If it was Darker Light, it'd be great. One day, maybe, who knows. Okay, get that all back and sorted. Okay, so that's all the spells. Moving on to traps. Not a ton of traps. So, of course, I have until Noble Arms are needed once again. This card is really great, for like the common rarity that it has. Is what this card does is I can target cards from the top of my deck equal to the number of Noble Arms. So say I have 5. Then I get to add one of those cards and then put the remaining in any order that I want. I can then banish this card, and then I can special summon a knight from my graveyard, or from my deck. I'm sorry, and with a different name from the ones I control or in my graveyard. Okay. So it's really good. I really just like the ability to be able to stack my deck the way I want it. So that's why it's 1. I wouldn't add more than that because, of course, it's a trap, and it gets a little cloggy if you try to add more than that. Or maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really tested it this much. I really just added the new support, just did some hands, and it worked out pretty nice, so that's why I kept it at 1. 2 of the Solemns, Solemn Warning and Solemn Judgment. There's not really much else to add. It's part of the Solemns that you have to have for this. Torrential Tribute and Call the Haunted, just to help get rid of monsters. Of course, if I have Destiny, it doesn't affect me. Call the Haunted to bring monsters back. Drawing Mirror Force, to send all the cards back into the deck. And wrapping it up is, of course, Curse Seal or Forbidden Spell to get rid of those pesky spell cards that everyone would run 3 of. So I can just get rid of that, and then that would be that. Okay, moving on to the extra deck. We have 2 copies of Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights. What a wonderful card this is. I really wish it was more Noble Knight targeted instead of just generic warriors, because everybody kind of uses it. Gogis use it. It's just I wish for such an integral like Noble Knight card that they just made it more towards Noble Knights. But other than that, it's a wonderful card. Love using it. You guys definitely know about Isolde, so. The rest of the links in here is Tri-Gate Wizard. I have Tri-Gate Wizard here for that mind control part, so that if I needed to, I can put Isolde up here, and I might be able to mind control and go into a Tri-Gate. So, and because it's really easy to get 2 monsters out, mind control into Tri-Gate, very easy. And then the last link is the one of the ones that actually really work with this. Is just 3 warriors with a different name, and I imagine you guys know what it was, is Arcana Extra Joker. Light warrior, it works great for all the arms. I can equip it with Clarent, so, because it just needs a warrior, and I could do it with the other arms too, but, he works really well. It helps get the normal monsters back, which is what a majority of the Noble Knights are to begin with. So, going on to the Xyz monsters now is Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorgus, just one of, and then of course his little brother Artorgus, just King of the Noble Knights. I do have another copy of this one, so if I do have more space later on, and like I said, it's a pretty tight deck space, so just one copy of each of them. Again, not great. Wouldn't advise this. Probably definitely need to have at least 2-3 of each of them. I have one because that's what the box set came with, so that is why they are that way. The newest one that came out is Sacred Noble Knight of King Custennin. He's not exactly, the best one, or one I would really go into that often because he has such a low attack. He's got really good defense and stuff like that, 25 defense and stuff like that. It's just, he's kind of like, because I could do it with more, he's kind of like a weaker version of Rom-Gamañad. So, but still, I like it. It was support that Noble Knights definitely need to have, and so he, a new Xyz monster, I was okay with it. I have a Castel the Sky Blaster Musketeer. That's kind of just generic and a much needed one. So glad I have this guy back off. Maybe, I don't know. Is Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Pop the board. Love it. It's a Fiend's Light, so he at least adds into that category. So I like having Evil Swarm Exciton Knight back. Thank you very much. This is for the 5 in case if I wanted to do it with Meddrot or Boars or Black Lonson or whatever. Is number 61 Volcasaurus. There might be probably other better ones. Like I could probably use, what's his name? I think it's like Adius or something like that. I can't remember his name. But it's a Dark Fiend. I only need 5 in it. It would just destroy a card. Probably a lot better than Volcasaurus, but it's what I had, because it's in the gold. I don't know if you guys can tell that or not, but it's in the gold, so it's what I had to make do. He's the only really good 5 rank I had. And then, of course, rounding up the rest of the Xyz monster is, of course, number 86 Heroic Champion Rom-Gamañad. Okay. Once again, I'm pretty sure you guys all know about Rom-Gamañad, or Rongo Bongo, as they are now calling it, with some of the strategy that he's been in it. Rom-Gamañad, of course, he's just a really great card. It's really easy to set up the board to make sure that he has enough materials to last him for a while. So, Rom-Gamañad, good card. Now, like I said, with the Ghost Ogres and Winter Cherries, I only have one Synchro Ignoble Knight of High Launcelin. Yeah, just one copy of Ignoble Knight of High Launcelin. Again, not the greatest of the night, but of course it's a Dark Warrior and it's a Synchro. It came with the box set, so in he must be. And then just the rest of the fusions that I showed everybody off is our Carbono Warrior, Dark Lion Koga, and that is the extra deck. And then of course I have it's a token, it's a Yugi token in place of the Noble Knight token that Ivani would give me. Okay, and that is the main deck, the extra deck. I won't really talk too much about the side deck because there isn't really much else that I would want to mention in it. And so I have, you can see that, sorry, is Swords Revealing Light. Again, it's just more stuff I would just want to add in here if I could. Release Restraint Wave, it's again iffy. Backup Field Spell in case I needed it. Book of Moon in case I needed it. Deep Prison in case I needed it. These are the rest of the Xyz, if I could add it, is Heroic Champion Kusanagi. I like it just because if I could use it for traps, it'd be great. It's just, like I said, the deck space got super tight. Kusanagi, I did have him for a while, so I wanted to make sure that he was mentioned. So Kusanagi, it's good, just 3, iffy, but to be able to stop traps, love it. Heartland Draco was good because, I had a face-up spell, that was with the arms, and he could attack directly. Abyss Dweller, it's just a really good card just overall to have. And but like I said, the deck space got tight, so I had to put Abyss Dweller to the side. And then number 106, Giant Hand. I did have Giant Hand in for a while, so he now got bumped down to the the side, because again, deck space got tight. Then the Synchros, if I could add them, I could, but I just didn't have the space for it. Is Clearmine Synchro Dragon. You know, he was in it for a while. Black Rose Dragon, just to be able to pop field, but then I have Exited, so that's why that's not there. Trishula, I just never really went into Trishula that often. And then just the rest of the monsters is Honest. Again, I would love to add Honest back into it just for the lights and stuff like that, but it's just, the deck space just got just so full. Like, there really wasn't much else I could do to fit it in. I have a spare Morgan. It got so funny. It's I was just open up just packages for the fun of it, and I keep opening up all the support that I just don't need anymore. And so I just have a spare copy just in case. And then Vision Hero Witch Raider, again, that was just in case if I ever really needed it for spells. And with that being said, that is the entire deck profile, side deck and all. So thank you guys again so much for watching. And if you guys want to see more Noble Knight deck profiles, make sure you guys let me know down in the comments below. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.